Well, my next guest has been on my show more than anybody in the Streetwise Street Scene history. When this is our 14th season here at Can TV, let me tell you who he is. My next guest was born and raised in Chicago. He watched Jackie Robinson play. He's a lifelong Cubs fan. He's a Streetwise vendor and a Chicago Cubs icon. I want to welcome back to the show, my buddy, Ronnie Woo Woo Wickers. What's up, Ronnie?
StreetWise, StreetWise. How you doing, buddy?
How are you, Ronnie?
Great.
And you know, I always like to say, I love me some Ronnie Woo Woo. Greg Pritchett loves some Ronnie Woo Woo, but I do not like the Cubs, but I love me some Ronnie Woo Woo. Somebody said, well, you know, man, that don't really make sense. Yes, it does, because it's about the humanity. It's about the dedication. It's about the commitment. Look at this brother. I first met Ronnie, about 20 years ago, walking in Chicago. First guy I ever met, walking through the whole city with full Cubs from head to toe, Cubs gear. I stopped being a Cubs fan since they left, let Bill Manlock go. How you doing, Ronnie?
Wonderful. How you been, buddy? How's it been?
Blessed and highly favored, man. Well, I gotta admit it. Normally we have you on the show at the beginning of the season, right there at opening day. We ain't do that this year, but we had to get you on the show, and it just so happened to be the week that you all beat my White Sox.
Well, baseball is a good game, but some Cubs are playing good ball, buddy.
Yeah, you was at the game today, right?
The Cubs won 7-2.
Who were they playing? Arizona. Who was they playing?
Arizona.
And they beat Arizona. Arizona got a pretty good team. What do you think about the young players with the Cubs right now?
Well, we got some young kids coming up, Everybody, like Leo DeRosa said, you have to play the kids, They may go 0 for 4, but keep them in that lineup and keep them going, Get a start before you finish.
So you think you guys got some good young prospects this year?
We got young prospects coming up, it just take time, Theo, Austin, and guys are doing a pretty good job. Bring them up slowly but surely, but put them out there, get between them vines and that green grass, that blue sky, Wrigley Field, everything will come alive.
Love baseball, don't you, man?
Baseball's great.
I love baseball, too, man. Big shout out to my men, the Monarchs out there, class of 85, my baseball team. I love baseball, too, man. Being outside in Wrigley Field, man, nice environment. Wrigley Field, to me, is just like a big old pub. That's what it is. A lot of people partying, and if the Cubs are winning or losing, they still gonna come. It's been a lot of politics going on lately, and how do you feel about the Ricketts and and their commitment to the Cubs?
Well, Greg, it's all like a baseball game. You guys all put it together. Tom Ricketts and his crew trying to get it all together, But the main thing I'm concerned with is get some young ball players, put them on the field, and let them play ball.
Let them play ball, huh?
Let them play ball.
We supported you, man, when you was going through your, trials and a little bit tribulation with the other owners. And I remember that. Streetwise definitely supported you. Let's talk about your relations with, the Ricketts family who owns the team now compared to the previous owners.
Well, the past is past. This is now. Right now, I'm going to try to talk to the Ricketts. Maybe I could do something with the club. I've been telling for the last 70 years, what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the old regime some pointers about bringing the fans to the ballpark. Right now, we need ball players. And Theo and his group, they're trying to put it all together like peanut butter, but got to put a little more jelly there to get it all together.
Theo gives you a lot of love. I remember last year when he first came into town in the first press conference, there was you in the Sun Times with Theo. Epstein's the last name? What's the last name?
Theo, he brought his group from Boston. They're trying to plant something together, but it's put a little more jelly on that, and I'm quite sure it'll be fine.
Okay, well, they need a lot of jelly, but they're doing pretty good right now. The neighborhood, Wrigley, it's called Wrigleyville, but it's really Lakeview. And Wrigley Field is just, it's all part of the community. So it's like Wrigley Field's there, they got a whole nother name for it. They threaten to pick up and move. You think that could ever happen?
Well, the deal is, Wrigley had a club. Anybody wanted to buy the club, the first thing, before saying anything, keep the Cubs in Chicago.
That's right.
That was just a threat, but it wasn't going to happen with it. The Cubs going to be here like I'm here. I'm part of Chicago, and the Cubs part of Chicago. So they're not going nowhere. We can get some young team, and next year, World Series.
Yeah, you go again with that World Series thing, man. You and the Cubs are World Series.
You have to just, believe. It's mind over matter. If those mine, it really doesn't matter.
Okay, well, we're going to see. Maybe we can get that Crosstown World Series. You know, you guys got the cup today, the Crosstown.
Oh, yeah.
The Crosstown Classic Cup, but maybe we can see the World Series in Chicago, or the World Series of Cubs against the White Sox. That'd be a good series, wouldn't it?
It'd be wonderful. You know, that classic mean, CBS mean, Cub beat Sox. That's what it means.
You had to get that in there, didn't you? Hey, Jumbotrons, could you imagine the Jumbotron in Wrigley Field out in the outfield?
Well, you know, you got to go with the times. You know, in the 30s, the 40s, 50s, the 60s, everything changed, you know.
Okay.
So the Ricketts, Argzay trying to go with the time, you know. You can put a teddy bear in the outfield, but you got to have some ball players hit the ball.
There you go.
That's the better. A teddy bear can look, Jumbotron can look, but you have to have ball player. Somebody run, catch, pitch, and throw that baseball, and then we can play ball.
There you go, Ronnie. Ronnie, we was before the studio. Ronnie made a prediction, and you know he's got this what we call the for show thing, right? For the Hall of Fame, the for sure thing for the Hall of Fame class of 2014. Now, what's the for sure thing for the Hall of Fame?
You're a Sox fan.
That's right.
You got your boy Frank Thompson.
There it is.
Going into the Hall of Fame next year.
And that's your prediction.
My prediction, and I got my pitcher, Greg Pritchett, who started with the Cubs, went out to the Braves and had a good career. But once the Cubs, always the Cubs, they both guys going into the Hall of Fame, and it would be all Chicago. Wouldn't that be great?
So you heard it here first, Chicago. Ronnie Rule predicts a for sure thing in the Hall of Fame. My man Frank Thomas and his brother Greg Maddox is going to be in the Hall of Fame, that class of 2014. So if I'm correct, right, it has to be 5 years at the time they retire for them to be eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. So that'll be 5 years.
It'll be 5 years. Quite sure Frank Thompson get there and Greg Maddox get there. And it'd be wonderful for Chicago next year.
That'd be a real good thing, man. I like to see that, man. And Greg Maddox, man, he lasted a long time. How many years was he in the major leagues?
He played about 18 years or so.
18 years, man. That's a real accomplishment, man. 18 years in the major leagues. Probably could have went two more years. But hey, good luck to them too. I like to see it. I know Chicago would love to see it. Once again, Frank Thomas.
Great, man. It'd be all for Chicago, buddy.
Hall of Fame.
It'd be great. Hall of Fame.
2014.
Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Me and you and your buddy Ronnie
Woo. That's right. Hey, got a shot at the playoffs. Now, what does it take to have a shot at the playoffs?
You know what? We got 30 teams. Any major league team, we got 5 playoff spots.
Okay.
Any major league team can make the playoff. So the Cubs, right now, exactly 12 games out the playoff spot, the 5th spot.
Okay.
So they got a good shot. We got 87 games to play, 121 games to play, something like that. So we got a lot of time. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Now, Chicago, this is a legendary Cub icon fan, Ronnie Woo Wickers, a legendary in the Chicagoland area. Hey, the kids love Ronnie Woo, though. Ronnie walk around with his uniform, kids asking for his autograph. I was thinking, man, we should have some kind of petition or some kind of rally to make you the official Cubs mascot. What you think about that, man?
Well, like my late friend Buck O'Neill told me, you know, when you go through life, it don't cost nothing to be nice, you know. So I just spread the love all over Chicago, Cubs, Sox, for Chicago. Chicago is my town, and the Cubs will always be a place in my heart.
We got some pictures of Ronnie right here that we had took for the StreetWise magazine. Ronnie was showcased in the cover of StreetWise, and these some pictures that we had of him, legendary Ronnie Woo, right out there in front of the Cubs symbol. All right, we got another picture here. Ronnie out there. Now, let's talk about that the statue. What statue is that?
Ernie Banks.
Your boy Ernie Banks.
Ernie Banks, yeah.
So I'm sure you met Ernie Banks. What's it like being around Ernie Banks? What is he like, man?
He's a cheerful guy, great guy. He loved the game. The late Buck O'Neill gave him an opportunity to play balls. So, and Banks is just Mr. Cub, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot for the game. Brought a lot of people in, take time, sign autograph, and enjoy baseball. You know, people come to Chicago, and you see Ernie, and maybe you see Ronnie Woo Woo, you know, so it's just like peanut butter and jelly, you know. We try to get together, bring love of Chicago.
There you go. Now, you mentioned the late, great Buck O'Neill, I think that all our young brothers and sisters should know the history. And let's talk about Buck O'Neil and what he means to the baseball, and, African Americans that are playing today.
Well, Buck gave so much love for the game, and for the love of the game, and for the Negro League baseball player.
Right.
He opened this museum so people come and see how it really got started.
And let them know what that museum is, though.
The museum is 13 and Vine in Kansas City, and it shows you how baseball really got started. The first night game came from a Negro League, from baseball, and it got so much there through the museum. And I think all 30 Major League teams should go down to Kansas City and see that museum, because it's so much you can learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
You think you know baseball, you don't know nothing until you go to that Negro League museum. A lot of things got started there, and we got to keep the game alive and keep the sport alive for what the Negro League have really done for the Major League Baseball team. And I want everybody, all the owners, to get together and let all Major League teams go down to Kansas City and see the Negro League Baseball League. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you don't see nothing until you go in there and learn about the Negro League. And the late Buck O'Neil, God bless him, #1.
Hey, you and Buck was really close, man. He really loved him some Ronnie Woo, just like I do. You go down there every year for a special occasion.
Well, I go down for his birthday. I think it would have been 100 this year,
Wow.
And he did a lot for he passed when he was 95. And he's like he said, he signed Joe Carter, Ernie Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Williams got upset because the racial detention. He had to go to Billy Williams' house and get Billy Williams to bring him back to the game so he could handle what's going on at that time in baseball. But then he got through it, and Billy Williams ended up being a Hall of Famer, So it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right.
This year, the Cubs, it's not how we start, it's how we finish.
And how you think you guys going to finish this year, man?
This year, next year, World Series,
Okay. Well, this year, next year, World Series. There you go again, Ronnie. World Series. You guys talking about next year. I got some footage. Now, YouTube is a big thing now. Social media is a big thing. And, George Orwell wrote a book, 1984. We talked about Big Brother. Big Brother's always watching. Well, to me, Big Brother's a video camera. So now with all these Android phones and everybody walking around with cameras, you liable to see anybody on YouTube. I'm telling you, look up Ronnie Woo Woo on YouTube. You're going to see a lot of classic shots of Ronnie doing his chants. And I got something right here I want to show you, Chicago. This is Ronnie right here, okay, celebrating Black Hawks and his Cubs. Go on, get down, Ronnie. Oh, not to the knee, Ronnie. Not to the knee. Oh, Ronnie. Non-stop. Classic Ronnie Woo Woo, Chicago. Classic Ronnie Woo Woo. Boy, I love me some Ronnie Woo Woo. Can't stand the Cubs, but I love me some Ronnie Woo Woo. Hey, man, I'm very glad to have you on the show, man. Always honored to have you. Chicago's Ronnie Woo was a Streetwise vendor. A lot of people didn't know that. We want you to check out Woo Life. You can look it up on the internet. It's a documentary of Ronnie Woo Woo, the legendary Ronnie Woo Woo's life. It's called Woo Life. Also, check out on YouTube the Fox episode, and they call it Fox Has Fun with Ronnie Woo. We're going to love that. He's giving the Milwaukee Brewer fans, he's giving them heck out there in the audience, cheering for the Cubs, and all of them looking at him wanting to be quiet. And you can always keep going and keep chanting for me. All Let me get a Streetwise chant, man, before we go.
Streetwise, 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 #1, #1, Streetwise, me and you, and your buddy Ronnie Woo.
Hey, thank you, Ronnie. Hey, till next week, Chicago. Stay focused. Keep it real.
And go Black Hawks.
Stay streetwise. Peace out, Chicago.